Hi, this is Cheryl from Majestic Wire Artworks. Today I'm going to show you how to make the Celtic Style wrap earrings to match the other set in the series. And actually I've got two pairs of earrings I will be making. This one, this pair matches the crescent or V necklace and the bracelet, and the other earrings matches the heart a little bit more, but I mean you can interchange them and mix and match them. So what I've done is I've already made one earring, and we will be making the second earring in mirrored, and basically all that takes is just doing the Celtic wrap just upside down, where we do the two beads at the bottom and the one at the top. And but we're gonna start with making our drops. You need to have them made first. So I'm going to take this opportunity to teach you my style of doing the briolette wrap. And what I'm using here is a 12 by 6 teardrop crystal. Of course you can do different types of drops. You don't have to do this kind, but I just thought it would look good together and give me the opportunity to show you how to do the kind of the traditional briolette wrap with my little twist on it. Okay, so we're going to start with making the drops. So in your description, I have your supply list, and we're going to start with using the one piece of your 26 gauge, which is 0.4 millimeters for people that are using the metric. And what I want you to do is loosely fold it in half like this. Take your teardrop bead and put it on. So it's about center. And then I want you to pull it up and tight to the sides like this. Doesn't matter if the drill is off, this will work no matter what, because a lot of these crystals, the drill isn't fully level, so it shouldn't matter at all. Bring that up closer. Okay. So like that, and then I want you to twist, a very tight twist. The reason I use 26 gauge with these is these crystals are actually quite delicate, and if you use a heavier gauge wire, a lot of times you find that you'll break the tip off. At least that's happened to me. So that's why I went to this gauge. Okay, so I want you to twist about half an inch, which I think half an inch is about 13 millimeters. I'm just going to measure this. I think I'm at about half. Nope, I want to do a little bit more. And I'll see, I'm doing a very tight. And that's probably about half an inch. Okay, so this is going to give a twisted loop. See here, I like that look. It gives it strength, and it's really nice. Okay, so I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and I'm going to bend it. Use the center of my shank on my pliers, and the size of loop is my favorite size of loop. You can choose your own. Why is it going blurry? Okay, about there, going forward to wrap around. Okay, so you're going to have a little bit of twisting left, and that's okay because it'll get covered up. And then just slowly start wrapping around the wire, and that'll give it some strength as well. Okay, and you want to make sure your bead's nice and level. So when you're wrapping it around, and if your wires tangle, you should untangle it because we want the wires to sit nice on your bead. So we're trying to be neat here. Some people do a messy briolette. That's good when things go wrong and you just give it the messy look. But we want it to be as neat as possible. And we're covering the wire that's on the side of the bead. That's the measure. Okay. Now you can see that it has a big jump here. Don't worry about that because that'll get fixed up. Okay, so I want my loop facing this way. And if you want the loop facing this way, and there's two different ways you can make your bead look, and I should have discussed this beforehand. I will show you the one that's done so you can decide before you go further. You can have it so it just looks just with the wire going up like that, or you can have it the way I have done it here, whereas I've got some curls at the front too, but I've also got the wire going up showing. And so that's your choice. So if you chose to just have the wire going up, and then depending which way you want the loop facing for whatever job you're doing, with these earrings we're going this way. So now I'm going to make sure my wires aren't twisted, which they are. I'm going to take the two of them and go up here and wrap around here again so that it looks more even and more like a triangle. See how it filled up that gap? Okay, now I want it to come up from the back like that, and I'm going to snip the wires off. Let's see, I think it's about 1/3 of an inch, or you could do and I think 1/2 inch might be too long, so about there. Let's snip that off. I had excess wire, but if you were using a bigger bead, you would need that wire to work with. Okay, and now I'm going to make little coils. And the reason I choose to put the little coils at the end is because no matter how hard you try to crimp in these ends of this fine wire, it's going to leave pokes, and it's going to get caught on things, and it's going to poke somebody, maybe hurt them. And when you finish them off this way, it's a decoration that you can use. You don't have to use, but it also makes it so they won't hurt anybody. I should peek over the camera, make it a lot easier. I think that's what I'll do, as long as I can keep it in focus for you. Okay, so this is the front, and I want it long enough to come to the front. If it's not long enough, I will unwrap. It's definitely long enough. So I want one further down. You got to be gentle with it because it's really fine. And now I'm going to wrap the other one a little bit more because I want it to be shorter. Come on, adjust. There we go. Doesn't have to be perfect either, because these are really tiny. They look bigger in the camera than they really are. I'm going to grab it and flip it and pull it to the front. Okay, there, isn't that cute? And I'm going to flatten it down, and I'm actually going to use my fingernail to do that because it's easy enough. Okay, so I want you to pause and make your second one, and then we'll do the other part of the earring. Okay, so now I want you to take 2 feet, and this is a generous amount again, 2 feet of your 20 gauge 0.81 millimeter wire, and we're doing the same thing as we're loosely folding it in half, and then we're going to take a round nose plier and make a loop to go on the bottom of the earring. So this is the bottom of the earring, and we're going to make that loop nice and round. So you're going to take it off and look at it. Oh, not quite round. I'm not happy with that, so I'm going to put it back. And I'm going to pull it tight, push it. Okay, that's a nice loop. And you put your plier back in. Oh, no, we're not. I'm glad I didn't forget. Now I'm going to slide this teardrop on and get it in there, in that loop. Now you might have to spread apart the loop a little bit so it doesn't distort your teardrop. Matter of fact, I prefer that you do that. And now that's the back, and that's the front. Okay, now we've got to close up that loop again. And I'm just going to close it up by gently pushing it together like that. And now, because we can't put the round nose pliers in there anymore, we're going to use our chain nose pliers to hold the loop. Okay. I want to kind of bend the wires up a little bit more so that we can twist them. They're too straight. So I'm holding it, the pliers, at the top and bottom of the circle loop so that this circle stays in shape. Okay, now I'm happy with that. And I want to do 2 twists and see how long it is. 1, 2. It went a little wonky on me, so I'm going to straighten that. Okay. Now, the other earring I had, so we're holding it like this, okay? I had it was top, bottom, top. Now I want bottom, top, bottom to make the opposite. So we want to do the bottom. And just remember, you want to do the opposite when you do your next earring. And with this earring, this is the easiest pair of earrings I make that you can mirror. Because the only thing you have to worry about mirroring, I hate that word, is to get the beads on, the order you put them on. Okay, so I'm going to wrap around that bead. Make the wires parallel. Now put a bead on the top wire. Cooperate. Okay, and then this bead, this wire is going to wrap around the bead from the other direction. Okay, remember, if it flips off of you, you just place it over top of the bead again and push it down. Mine didn't flip, but it does very often. Okay, and now we want to put the next bead on the bottom wire. Okay. Okay, and remember, we want to bring it all the way around for this one because we don't want to make it parallel. We want them perpendicular. And wrap around like that. And now we want 3 twists this time. Of course, it depends on what length you're making, right? So we don't need as long a length here as we do on top. But it's about the same, so I'm just going to leave it. Okay, so how do I want to do this? We're going to make a loop with this one. I find that, just with experience, that if you have the one wire that comes from the back, let me think. Yeah, if it comes from the back, it should match up. But the other one matched up really nice. So I'm just doing the wire from the front. And yes, it's going to match up. Okay, because that's the goal. We want these 2 wires matching, both at the back or both at the front. And if you don't do it right, then you'll end up with one at the front and the back, and then you'll have to start all over again because it won't work. Okay, so now I want to move to the front, and I'm going to do it one more time downwards because I want to be closer. Okay. Now, just like in the bracelet and the necklace, we want to do a loop swirl here, here, and here. So it's the same thing with this. And I don't spread the wires apart. I'm going to straighten these wires. They're not matching. I don't use a nylon plier to do this. I use my hands and my fingernails sometimes. Okay. So I want that to go right there. Start my loop with my nail. Put the loops between my fingers. Okay. Now the wires flipped on me. I don't want them to. want to keep it consistent, the flow. I don't want the wire twisting in the middle of the design. And then we wrap around here, just like at the bracelet and the necklace. Make sure the length is nice there. Okay. Flattening it a bit. Okay, now I want to loop right there. And I want the wire to curve around that bead nicely. I'm being a little bit pickier with the earrings because they need to be more delicate looking. Okay. That looks nice. Okay. And then we're going to finish it off just like we did with the necklace and the bracelet. So around and then to the back. And we're going to give ourselves about 1/2 inch or a little bit less. And we're going to curl those ends down. Is that too big? That's too big. Spread them apart. Now these are going to the back, so the coils don't have to... Oh, my kitty's begging to go outside. I'm going to pause it and I'm going to let him out. Otherwise he'll just be noisy. I'm back. Okay, so we were just making the little coil. And as I was saying, it doesn't have to be perfect because it's in the back. All it is to protect the earring from poking the wearer. Although, I guess that's what ear wires do most of the time anyways, isn't it? Okay, and then just tuck it in the back. A little bit more. Okay, and do the same with the other one, other end. Okay. Okay, I made that drop a little bit long. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to twirl it 2 times so that the bottom bead is still facing forward, and it's going to shorten this up. So just watch. Hopefully it'll do the trick. 1, 2. Look at that. It worked. Okay. Now I want to make sure that this is hanging straight, including the top one. It looks crooked. Okay, flatten it. It'll hang on the ear wire better. Flatten this. Gently though. Okay. That looks good. Okay. I'm going to put the ear wire on it, and then our earring is done. So when you make or buy homemade earrings, the worst thing you ever want to do is lose an earring. So I don't know how many people, I'm talking about ear wires now, How many people don't realize that the rule of wearing a fish hook ear wire is once you have it in your ear, you pinch it shut, and it'll hang better, especially if it's this style. The ones that go out, I don't like them because all they do is poke you in the skin behind your ear, and you can't, and then they end up hanging wrong and you end up losing earrings. But as a second measure, I recommend buying the rubber ear stoppers and sliding it up, and not only making it so you don't lose your earrings, it actually can hold your earrings in place so that they don't do this on you, where it goes like that. So just some tips for wearing earrings. Okay, and there it is. And there's the pair. Okay, thank you for joining me. I hope you have luck with trying them. Again, another finishing tip, I just thought of it, is if the earrings are different sizes, like if one's bigger than the other with the swirls here, you can compress the earring. I don't flare them out like I do with the bracelet and the necklace, just because an earring needs a more delicate look and a little bit more compact. Okay, so again, I'm going to say goodbye, and we'll see you for the next video. Okay, thank you for joining me. Bye.